One fine morning at SpongeBob's house, SpongeBob, Patrick, and Sandy were taking a nap after a long day of hanging out. A strange sound woke them up. What in tarnation was that?
I don't know, but it sounded like sparkling noise.
Sparkling? But that can only mean one thing. The little sponge went out to investigate and saw train tracks. He knew that only meant one thing. But he was surprised when he saw a lady puff in. Lady? What are you doing here? Where's Thomas? That's why I'm here, SpongeBob. Thomas has been in his shed for the past few days, and he won't tell anyone why. That doesn't sound like Thomas. What's going on? I think it has something to do with an engine that goes by the name Timothy. Who is Timothy? SpongeBob, what's going on?
Yeah, buddy, what was that noise?
Oh, lady, I would like you to meet my two friends, Sandy and Patrick. Howdy, nice to meet you, lady.
A friend of SpongeBob's is a friend of ours.
It's very nice to meet you two. I'm Lady. And Timothy is a demonic ghost train with a very dark backstory. Well, it can't be any darker than Diesel 13 or Devin the Demonic, can it? Oh, it's much darker. I better tell you the story. And this was the story Lady told. A long time ago, before Thomas even came to the scene, there was an engine called Timothy. He looked just like Thomas, except he was painted silver with the number 0 on his side. But on one tragic night, Timothy was taking the last passenger train for the night. When they got to the final station, instead of slowing down, Timothy sped up. The driver and firemen did everything they could, desperately trying to stop him, but it was no use.
I'm gonna send you all to the graveyard.
He jumped off of a then unconstructed viaduct, killing everyone on board. My Neptune! He did that? I must say, that's pretty messed up. And every year on the date of the accident, he runs again as a warning to others, plunging into the gap, shrieking like a lost soul. But my question is, where does Thomas fit in all of this? He is one of Timothy's brothers, and I think Timothy is out to kill him.
That's terrible. We can't let that happen.
Patrick's right. Lady, take us to Sodor. When they got to Sodor, Lady took SpongeBob to his sheds. He's right in here. SpongeBob slowly walked into Thomas's shed. Thomas, are you in there? A sad Thomas looked up. Oh, hi, SpongeBob. Lady told me everything. Apparently an engine called Timothy is out to kill you? Don't you dare mention that name. It makes my wheels wobble. This is worse than I thought. I see you brought friends with you. Oh yes, this is Patrick and Sandy. Howdy.
Hi there, I'm Patrick.
It's very nice to meet you both. But I think I need to be alone for a while. But Thomas, we want to help you. As SpongeBob and Thomas talked, Edward pulled in. Thomas, you've been at this for over 2 weeks. He's not gonna stop until he finds you. Well, the longer I stay in my shed, the safer I'll be. Thomas, your Sir Topham Hatt's number 1. Sodor isn't the same without you. Look, Edward, I just need some space, okay? Space is all we've been giving you, Thomas. What if we can get rid of Timothy for you? I'm afraid that's not possible, SpongeBob. Timothy is a very powerful being.
Well, we can certainly try.
But how can we defeat him? He's a literal ghost. I've been to Sodor once before, so I know the island like the back of my hand. Edward, where is he now? I don't know, but I can help you look for him. Hop on. When SpongeBob, Patrick, and Sandy climbed on board, Edward hopped away. It wasn't long before they found him. He was terrorizing Gordon the Big Engine. Timothy, why are you doing this? The ghost engine turned his attention towards Edward, giving Gordon the opportunity to escape.
Well. If it isn't Edward, Sodor's oldest resident.
There's still time to change your ways. You don't have to end it like this.
You don't understand, Edward. I must kill Thomas. All E2 class tank engines must be destroyed.
Well, I'm sure there's another way of settling this, Timothy.
Who's your little friend, Eddie?
My name is SpongeBob SquarePants, and this is Sandy Cheeks and Patrick Star, and we are here to put a stop to this.
You're just a little sponge. What can you do?
Well, clearly reasoning isn't working. Edward, let's get out of here. Edward raced away as fast as he could, with Timothy not that far behind. Meanwhile, Thomas was still sulking in his shed. Henry was there and tried to talk to him.
You know, Thomas, isolating yourself is not the way to go.
You'd be scared too if you had a demonic brother.
Thomas, you're talking to an engine that isolated himself in a tunnel.
What's your point, Henry?
I will never know what it's like to have a demonic brother, but I do know what it's like to feel alone. When I was isolated in that tunnel, for a stupid reason, something about my paint, at first I liked it, but then I felt lonely, seeing the engines like Edward and Gordon puffing by with freight cars or the express, and I just had to sit there doing nothing. I didn't like that at all.
Gee, Henry, I never really thought of it that way.
Thomas, what I'm trying to say is, you may not be the fastest or the strongest, but you're definitely the bravest and the smartest engine I know.
Well, I do have good ideas.
You took on a diesel twice your size on 2 separate occasions.
Well, yeah, our island was in danger.
Exactly, and you were willing to put your life on the line to save ours.
Yeah, I did do that.
You also took on Devon the Demonic by yourself, which takes buffers.
Yeah, that was pretty risky, but I also did that.
Well, if you can defeat 2 diesels twice your size and Devon the Demonic, Timothy should not be a problem for you.
You know what? You're right. SpongeBob, Patrick, and Sandy need my help, and I'm gonna help them.
That's the spirit, Thomas. Good luck.
Thank you, Henry, for that talk. And Thomas puffed away to find SpongeBob, Patrick, and Sandy. Meanwhile, Edward and the gang found themselves on the same viaduct that Timothy fell off. The ghost engine closed in on them. By that point, Edward had run out of coal.
Tell me where Thomas is, and maybe I'll let you forgive.
I'm right here, brother. Timothy turned his attention to the voice. And you're done terrorizing my friends.
Well, look who decided to come out of hiding. It's so nice to see you, brother.
You took away so many lives that night and are a disgrace to the E2 class.
Well, what are you gonna do about it, Thomas? I'm a ghost. You cannot kill a ghost.
Little engines can do big things, Timothy, and I'm not afraid to kick your buffers.
I am Timothy the Ghost Engine, and I am immortal.
Well, I am Thomas the Tank Engine, and I am Sir Topham Hatt's #1. If you want me, Timothy, come and get me. And Thomas raced away as fast as he could.
Oh, you are so off.
And Timothy raced after him. Thomas lured Timothy to the magic buffers. Thomas raced through the magic buffers, with Timothy not that far behind.
Why did you bring me to the magic buffers, brother?
to do this! And Thomas raced towards Timothy and biffed him to a nearby siding. Timothy crashed into the buffers and fell through the portal below.
No! What have you done? I'll get you!
That's for terrorizing my friends. And Thomas puffed back through the magic buffers. He returned to the viaduct with enough coal to refuel Edward. Are you all right? Yeah, Thomas, we're fine. But how did you pluck up the courage to defeat Timothy? I had a little help from someone with experience. Well, I'm just glad everyone's all right. Thanks for not giving up on me, SpongeBob. That means a lot. Anything for my good friend Thomas.
3 cheers for Thomas the Tank Engine, who saved the day from that ghost engine.
And everyone cheered for Thomas. And as if like magic, Lady appeared. Well done, Thomas. You overcame your fear of your brother and you defeated him. Well, once again, I couldn't have done it without SpongeBob and his friends. And Henry. Now, SpongeBob, it's time that we brought you and your friends home. Hey, Lady, if it's all right with you, I would like to visit Bikini Bottom for a little bit. Very well, let's go to Bikini Bottom. When they returned to Bikini Bottom, SpongeBob showed Thomas around. Wow, I have to say, you have a very nice town.
Thanks, Thomas. We're proud to live in Bikini Bottom.
And for the rest of the day, Thomas and SpongeBob talked and talked and talked. Until that evening, when it was time for Thomas to leave. The two friends said their last goodbyes and went their separate ways.